Hey guys, it's Eric with another episode of Enchanted Minds. Today we're going over the top 10 companions for the Cleric or the Healadin. So for the healing and the buffing classes, these are what we feel are the best. If you disagree, that's more than fine. If you have a companion that we haven't mentioned that you feel needs to be on here, please comment down below. Guys, the game's huge, okay? The game is very huge, so we don't pretend to know everything. We just try to do the best to relay the data that we do know to you guys. So, jumping right into it, the top 10 companions for your healing and buffing classes, starting with number 10, the Man-at-Arms. So the Man-at-Arms, guys, this is specifically for survivability. You can see is giving you 300 defense, which isn't bad. Now on my Cleric, I'm basically running specifically just power and defense. So my damage resistance is quite high. And the theory behind that is if you're healing, you need to be alive to heal other players. So Man-at-Arms at low level, lower gear score, certainly very, very helpful for soloing, especially if you're new to the game, new 70. I do recommend a purple Man-at-Arms. Get that gear score up a little bit, get the defense up a little bit, and also take them with you when you solo, because you're probably quite squishy. So very, very nice at lower levels. Moving on, guys, coming in at number 9 is the Wayward Wizard. So the Wayward Wizard, another one that you start out with, and you can see he's giving you 300 recovery. Not my favorite. I mean, I did use him for a little bit when I was new to the game. But I'm not too highly fond of him. But these classes, guys, the healing class, the buffing class, don't have a lot of options. So if you are catering more towards buffing, then the Wayward Wizard might not be a bad choice for you. And then that's going to bring us to number 8, guys. The Battlefield Medic. So the Battlefield Medic, guys, coming in here at number 8. Also fairly cheap, going to give you plus 6% incoming healing. This is strictly for survivability. I personally don't rock it, but it is quite nice, especially again lower gear score. This is going to help you survive when you're healing yourself, so it is worthy of noting here, coming in at number 8. So moving on, guys, number 7 is one of my personal favorites. I wish I could rank it higher, but it's not helping our heals at all. So the Energon, guys, super cheap, only 61,000. If you're a new 70, I highly recommend getting one of these. So this is going to increase your maximum hit points by 5%, and this is kind of the ultimate survivability companion. I use this for a very long time because of that bonus there. So a lot of your heals are proccing based on your maximum hit points, specifically feats and things of that nature. Also soul forged armor if you're using it. So this is quite nice. 5% hit points, that's a lot of hit points. And also possibly more important is you can rock this guy as your active companion in a dungeon, and we'll get to that here in a moment. We're going to go over the top companions to run as your actual summoned companion. So Energon coming in at number 7, and that's going to bring us into number 6, the Laughing Skull. So the Laughing Skull, guys, is going to give us stats. Is going to give us power and recovery. You can see there at the start of combat, 500 recovery, 500 power for 25 seconds. Kind of pricey here at purple, at epic quality. You can get him for much cheaper. Uncommon, still pretty good. You can see only 1,500 astral diamonds. So if you're new to the game, getting him at uncommon, I don't know if he comes in rare. He does not. So getting him at uncommon might not be a bad idea. If you really like him, you can buy the epic one down the road, guys. So Laughing Skull, really good, because getting you know, at purple, at epic, it's 1,000 stats total there when you enter combat. 500 power, 500 recovery. And that is going to bring us to number 5, guys. Number 5 is the Sprite. So there's actually 3 different sprites. There's the Ice Sprite, the Flame Sprite, and then just the regular Fairy Sprite that you can buy at epic quality. So you can see this Ice Sprite, 1% action point gain. That's going to be the same as the Flame Sprite. If you scroll a little bit further, you can see. So you can have multiple different sprites giving you this action point gain. These are quite nice, guys. So the sprites all coming in at number 5 on our list. Moving right along, guys, number 4 is actually the one that I use as my summoned companion on my Cleric. This is the Stalwart Golden Lion, guys. So this is a very nice companion. His active bonus is not particularly good for you as a DC. As a paladin, maybe a little more so, if you're able to do a little more damage while you're healing. Whereas if you're a complete heal buff spec, you're not going to be doing a whole ton of damage with your DC. I mean, DCs can do a bunch of damage, but if your main focus is to buff the group, you're not going to be doing a whole lot. So his active bonus is but he is very strong when he's summoned with you, and we will hop into that here in just a couple of minutes, guys. So the Golden Lion coming in at number 4. We'll tell you why in just a moment. And that's going to bring us to number 3, which is the Silver Scaled Cleric. I think you can only buy him green. Yes, so you can see 32,000, not bad. Huge active bonus, guys. You can see plus 1.5% incoming healing, plus 1.5 outgoing healing. This is at green. This does go up every time you level him up until legendary. So this is very nice, giving you more survivability for not only yourself, but for your colleagues as well, making this a top 3 option, guys. Coming in, number 3, Silver Scaled Cleric Disciple. And now for number 2, the Sellsword, guys. So one of the first companions that you have access to in the game. There she is there. Right now, only you can get her at epic quality. You look at 900,000. So you can see she's giving you 300 power. Now the reason why this is very nice is because that is just as your base power. So you have a lot of things that are going to be modified to increase your power, your base power. So having this as just a part of your natural power rather than a buff like the Laughing Skull is huge, because this is going to go into everything that is based off of your power, and when your power multiplies itself by percentages, this is going to be very, very handy. And then also as an active companion, a summoned companion, it is also quite nice. So we'll talk about that here in just a few seconds, after we discuss the number one companion, guys, for the healing class. That is the Polar Bear Cub, guys. You can see almost 1.2 million here, plus 5% outgoing healing. He is also an augment, guys, meaning he gives you 100% of his stats when you have him summoned, but it does not stack with the bonding stones. So once you get bondings, you won't be rocking him. But if you're a new 70, I highly recommend getting one of these. A lot cheaper. You can buy them at green, you can buy them at blue. I'd recommend getting yourself a blue one, probably. You can see only 80,000. You can upgrade it to purple yourself for 500k. So kind of a no-brainer, guys. Get it at blue, and you can see the active bonus is plus 3% outgoing healing. Very, very nice. Polar Bear Cub coming in at number 1 for your top 10 healing and buffing companions. Now, obviously, he doesn't do anything for a buffing character, but the outgoing healing, just insane. Very, very nice. That's why he's ranked here number 1. So the active companions, guys, the active companions, there's 5 of them that we recommend. The Polar Bear obviously is an augment. If you don't have bonding rune stones, you want to be rocking this as your active companion. Get it right away, even before VIP, I'd say. If you're a new 70, get this right away. It's just very, very nice to have. So that's the Polar Bear Cub. And then the other 4 that you would take a look at, if you do have bonding rune stones, you're going to take a look at the Lion. So the Lion is, I like him as a summoned companion. Again, his ability is not so great unless I'm soloing, his active bonus. However, we come look at his actual skills, his personal attacks, and you can see that he has this one here, this roar. So a sky-shattering roar that generates significant threat on nearby foes and grants nearby party members 2 stacks of Radiant Weapon. Radiant Weapon grants 2% additional damage as radiant damage for 12 seconds. You may have no more than 8 stacks of Radiant Weapon from any source. So guys, this is very, very nice. It's buffing your party members. Typically they're going to get 2 to 4 stacks of this going at once. So anytime he casts a spell, it's going to be a 4%. It's going to be a 4% bonus to their damage. If he hits it 2 times before it expires, then it's going to be 4 stacks, which would be 8%. So very, very nice, guys. He's also a very loyal companion. He'll defend you. He's a good defender. He does not lose the aggro too often. So that's why we like him. We love him as an active companion, a summoned companion. And then the next one, guys, would be the Sellsword. The one that ranked number 2 overall. And the reason why she is so special is because she has an attack that is going to decrease the mob's defense. You can see here the final strike of Wicked Strike now shreds 10% of the target's defenses. So this is huge to have her out there fighting. She also does a very heavy amount of damage when you have her fully outfitted. You can see she's got 3 offensive slots. Waist, neck, sword knot, that's where it's a little bit tricky to get her completely outfitted with everything that has 2 enchant slots, but she is very, very nice, giving you another buff against the mobs, another 10%. So very, very nice, guys, as a summon companion. And finally, the Angel of Protection, didn't have it listed there in the top 10. She's very specific to certain builds, I would say. You can see her active bonus on Resurrection. You are shielded for 10% of your total hit points. This is going to work well if you're using Soulforged and Lavender's combo, which we do talk about in the upcoming DC video. So this is nice. It's another perk to being able to go down in battle, pop back up even stronger than when you went down. And then you can see here, she's got 2 defensive, 1 offensive. Defense is not bad for a DC, like we mentioned earlier in the video. And then this here, Angel of Protection wards you from harm when you take more than 5% of your maximum hit points and damage, intercepting half of all incoming damage for 10 seconds. This may only take place every 60 seconds. This is pretty big when you're up against dragons, when you're up against Orcus, King of Spines. This can be very helpful, guys. So you also see here, Summoner takes 5% less damage. This is very nice to have just up all the time. And then she also has a heal that she'll pop on you as well. So guys, that concludes our Companion's Guide for the healing and buffing classes in Mod 12. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you have any suggestions, any companions that you'd like to see added to the list, please comment down below, guys. Outside of that, I'm going to ask you to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and as always, guys, may the drops be ever in your favor. Eric out.